What scares me the most is not knowing if what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. The internet and the whole world, every perspective and story ever told on the planet is within our grasp, in our hands. I think having access to that type of comparison can become this compound effect of what am I even doing? Like, is anything I'm doing even worth it? What's going on, YouTube? My name's Tagliaferro, or you can just call me Tags. I really didn't have a video written out. I usually do. I have some sort of outline that I follow and then kind of improvise on top of. But today didn't feel like that day. Today, I wanted to talk about something for, I guess, the men that watch my content, which I'm sure it's mostly men. If you know, I have a YouTube channel. I make music. I have an agency where I create content for businesses and brands. I do a lot of things. I have a lot of projects, passion projects that I want to multiply and I want to grow so I can eventually be financially free. I have these goals and these ambitions and all of these scattered thoughts and dreams that I try so hard to align and put together in a way that makes sense and in a way that I can operate off of. And I do, everything from my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, to my music, to my business is all centered around one thing, which is being able to tell great stories, whether that's through business, through me speaking, or through music. This storytelling is something I feel like I really enjoy doing, and is a skill I'm trying to work on and be great at. That being said, though, I always feel like I'm falling short in some sort of avenue in my life, in some sort of this project didn't get done today the way I wanted it to, or maybe this venture failed. This idea didn't come to fruition the way I wanted it to. The YouTube doesn't have as many subscribers as I want. The music doesn't have as many streams as I want. Even if I'm doing the best that I can, my music, this is my second year in music and I had over 100,000 streams. To me, that means a lot. And it shows a lot to my progress. And it's funny that despite any sort of results or any sort of acknowledgement that I know I'm making progress and I'm growing, there's also this other part of me that constantly tells me, and where I constantly tell myself that I'm not being good enough. This is an issue. This is a problem. And the reason it is a problem is because when I do have these moments, like a day, I felt like this yesterday, where that idea of I'm not enough paralyzed me completely. I shut down. I didn't get much work done. I didn't work on any videos. This is why this video is important, because it's me doing something despite my feeling, and that feeling that I'm simply not where I want to be right now creeps up on me sometimes, and it's a very crippling thing, because if you're anything like me, I made a video about imposter syndrome, but I tend to overthink and overanalyze everything, and it's honestly, it's a gift because it allows me to flourish in the creative field. It allows me to find new solutions for things and solutions for problems day to day. But when there's nothing to do, again, this is gonna be released in December, late December, where if you know much about business, you know that this time nobody's doing much. And when there's nothing to do, when I don't have any active projects to work on, I can't find myself just resting or just chilling or just trusting in the fact that that tomorrow will be a good day, because I get caught up in the idea that today wasn't, because I didn't do something. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. The feeling, right? Because that's what it is. It's not a fact, but the feeling that I'm not doing enough and that I'm not reaching the goals I want to meet. I want to reach fast enough. I wanted to challenge what we do when we arrive here. And I'm really speaking to myself, for myself. If you're listening to this, we're gonna problem solve through this idea together in real time. Because like I said, it's just, how do I get myself out of those feelings of, it's not even demotivation, it's almost something like depression, where I don't want to do anything, and I don't, because I feel like I'm not going to succeed if I try. If you know me, you know I do everything, and I try my best, and I show excellence in everything I do, or at least I try to pursue that as much as I can. But there are moments when I'm by myself, when I just feel like I'm not doing enough. And I have a couple of ideas, a couple of reasons why I think that's the case. And I'm trying to make these changes in my life. They're easier said than done. But these are some solutions that I will offer to you as a guy who may fall into these seasons or days or just hours of just beating yourself up for not being where you want to be. And number one, I think the first reason we might think this is comparison. I personally, when I reflected on yesterday, I reflected on my most unproductive day due to my own nagging. And I realized it's because I was comparing myself to people that are in the stage that I'm at in life right now. And they're in a different place. I tend to, whenever something changes or when a transition is gonna come or when I know something big is gonna happen, I tend to look everywhere I can to see, oh, am I measuring up to the person who's already done it or the person who's been in these shoes before? And I will look all over the internet for it. And more often than not, I find myself not being there, you know, and you have no shortage of people driving Maseratis all over the internet, and that's all we can really see. And so I found myself doing that. I found myself feeling that way because I was comparing myself to other people, and I was comparing myself to who I want to be, to my potential. And then I then beat myself up for not being there yet. And I just think that's something we all need to be aware of. We live in 2023, about to be 2024, a place where the internet and the whole world, every perspective and story ever told on the planet is within our grasp, in our hands to just find. And so we never run out of people to make ourselves feel worse. And as a man, where you're pushed by society, by just yourself, but really by the idea that you should have everything figured out or this or that, I think that having access to that type of comparison can become this compound effect of just you slowly falling into a place or a moment where I fell into, where it's just like, what am I even doing? Like, is anything I'm doing even worth it? That's one of the things I'm trying to change in my life. It's like, maybe let's stop looking at success stories as much, because that's all I do. I watch interviews on all of my favorite creators, storytellers, everything. And, you know, I think it's inspiring me and motivating me, but in reality, it's just, it's sending me down this spiral of like, why am I not there? Why has God not given me these opportunities to be there? I know if I got the opportunity today, I would crush it. I have confidence. Not that I lack confidence, and it's not insecurity. It's that idea of like, why has life simply not given me these opportunities that they've gotten? And then it becomes a victimization thing. Again, this isn't like an identity thing. I don't think about this 24/7. Like I said, this is a moment that comes rarely, but when it comes, it hits hard because I'm so personally in the other way. I'm so personally like, I don't care, and I really don't. Until I allow those internet voices, and when I overconsume this content, and when I'm listening to podcasts all day, every day, and I don't have enough time to spend time with myself, and I don't have enough time to focus on the things I want to focus on. That's when I see myself really downtrodden and insecure. And I think it's also the end of the year thing. I don't think it's a lie that there's this weird gloominess to New Year's, and where we reflect on our whole year. And if you're like me and you have ambition, it's easy to look at all the faults, because that's what we do in our business, right? That's what we do in our passions. We try to better the things that are holding us back. And at the end of the year, unfortunately, I think that's something I've always felt like, it's about to be January and I didn't get this done, and I didn't reach this part. But I heavily do attribute that to the comparison, to this like unlimited potential of just like self-pity that we have right here, if we choose to use it that way. Try your best to not be that person. Try your best to be fully present in the right now and not focus so much on, what's happening in this person's life. This seems like such an obvious thing, but I really mean it. If you knew me, you would know that I don't spend time thinking about that. 2% of my time is spent thinking about other people. That's like one of my tenets. And even still, I find myself in these situations. That's how easy it is to fall into that temptation of like victimization and self-pity in a way, or like, I don't really know how to describe it. These are such strong words, and I don't declare these things over myself, but it is so easy to fall into these things when you are just consuming and not creating. I'm a creative entrepreneur. Every business I have is centered around creating content. But no matter what you do, you're creative. You are called, you're a human. God has created us to co-create with him, right? So everything in every business, you're creating opportunities, you're creating solutions, you're creating these things. And I've felt the answer, right? Oh, here's where we've fallen. This is why I do these videos, right? The answer is simply this. There is a time for reflection. And I think reflection sharpens our swords and sharpens ourselves as men and sharpens our ability to pivot and change and grow, right? It's important. I know a lot of people, and I've heard of a lot of people who reflection is not a part of their day-to-day, and that's a detriment, right? I think we all need to reflect. But I think that what is just as important is creating over consuming, doing more than reflecting. You should spend less time analyzing yourself and more time doing, putting shots up, creating the piece of content that might change your life tomorrow, making the move in your business that might change the way your business operates, getting on that routine-like schedule that makes you do and do more. I think that's the key, and maybe why I feel so down when I'm not being productive, because if I'm not producing, I'm consuming. If I'm not creating something, I'm being molded by something. I like that. I like how we ended that. I like how this talk has led to a real solution in my life and for you. And that is the thing I'm gonna take into 2024, is to spend all of my time, most of my time creating, and take those moments to reflect, but don't over-reflect or over-consume. Because reflection with consumption of other people's thing, you're not even reflecting on your own life at that point. You're comparing. And comparison is the thief of joy. We've all heard that phrase. And at the end of the day, even if you're like me and you consider yourself somebody who never compares, who never really spends time, thanks to the internet and thanks to our cell phones, we can find ourselves very quickly comparing. I think maybe that's why it hits me so hard, to be honest, because I don't spend any time. And if I spend more than 10, 15 minutes just consuming stuff, it becomes very easy for me to, it hits me harder. It's like if you don't drink alcohol and you take a shot, it hits you a lot harder than if you're sipping a little bit of alcohol every day. You know what I'm saying? This has been a long video about this subject. And I just wanted to touch on it because I feel like we all may be feeling that right now with the end of the year amongst us and the beginning of the new year in front of us. And I just want to encourage myself and you guys to just do whatever it is you're dreaming about or you're thinking about. Stop analyzing it so much. Stop seeing how other people have done the thing you want to do. Like, just do it. And if it's meant to be, it'll go. And if it's supposed to help you grow, it'll grow. And I think that is a better way to live than constantly being paralyzed by the fear of what might be. Might not be failure, might not be success. There's fear of success too. And I think I feel that a little bit too in these moments. And so I just want to encourage y'all, and by doing that, encourage myself when I watch this back and edit. Like, bro, you got this, you can do this. Whatever it is you're trying to do, you're gonna do it. Just do it. Nike is the best. And if you felt this way recently, or you have some solutions or some perspectives on it that you think would help me personally, or anybody watching it, the community that we're building here on YouTube, leave a comment. I think what makes this so special, what makes YouTube so special, is that it's not just me talking to myself, it's me talking to a group of people who also are interested in what I'm talking about. And so we can all collaborate in the comments and find a way for all of us to heal, or all of us to grow from it. So go down there. It's not an algorithm hack. I really do want to know what you guys are saying. What scares me the most is not knowing if what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's a lack of faith. You know, as a Christian man, I should trust that the Lord has given me these gifts and blessings for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I find myself not trusting that sometimes and falling into that fear of failure, which is an enemy tool used to, you know, whatever, you already know how it is. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched this far, hit the like button, please. It would help me a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, it's been your boy Andres Tagliaferro. I hope you guys have had an amazing year so far. I hope 2023 treated you well, and I hope that you conquered everything you need to or you wanted to this year and have met all of your goals for the year. And I encourage you to start writing your goals for next year so you can have a vision and a path into next year. And I just can't wait to share all of the changes coming into my life, all in the next few months and all 2024. But yeah, crush it, kill it, keep going, don't quit, never give up. It's been your boy Andres, and remember to stay grateful. Say it in every video. Stay grateful. It's hard to be anxious when you're grateful. But yeah, peace.